Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today, I want to take a look at one of my favorite coins of 2020, which is called Chainlink. And I've talked about this coin a couple more times on the channel, but I really think it deserves a whole separate video because it is a coin that is so freaking interesting, and it might actually be the coin I'm going to buy the most of in the whole of 2020. Now, of course, a couple of you guys must be wondering, what is Chainlink exactly, and what are you talking about? Well, in kind of difficult terms, Chainlink is a decentralized Oracle network consisting of purchasers and providers of data. Purchasers request data, and providers return data in a secure way. Purchasers select the data they want, and providers bid to provide that data. Providers must commit a stake of Link tokens when they make a bid, which can be taken away if they misbehave. Once providers are selected, it is their job to bring the correct answers on chain. Chainlink uses an Oracle reputation system to aggregate and weigh the data provided, and if everything goes smoothly, providers get paid and everyone is happy, and otherwise they'll get punished a little bit if they do some shady stuff. However, I understand if that's still a little bit vague to you because, I understand that it sounds a little bit strange, but that is why there's a very good video over on YouTube from the Exodus wallet, and it says here, what is Chainlink Crypto, and I really recommend you guys to watch this 2.5-minute video, because really, I could never explain Chainlink as good as this guy does it. It's the most amazing thing ever, but to keep it short, but still tell you guys, what he says is, it's an oracle like we just explained, and an oracle is a data feed that connects blockchains to off-chain data. And if we scroll through a little bit, for example, things you can do is retrieve weather data to help calculate insurance premiums, sporting events results to resolve decentralized sports betting, location data to use in supply chain tracking, or retail or bank payments information to trigger a smart contract, and basically anything that would benefit from smart contracts is what this all can do. And that on its own actually is pretty damn huge. And also, Chainlink is stakeable. You can read more about that, about how it all will be possible, and what the future is going to bring for Chainlink, because we're still pretty early. Now, as he also explains in the beginning of the video, and like most guys over on YouTube will tell you, Chainlink is one of the best performing, if not the best performing top coin of 2019. It did some crazy, ridiculous price movements, and here you can see it went from 30 cents in the beginning of January to about $4.50 somewhere in June, and it ended off 2019 with about $1.80. Now, 2020 has looked also pretty damn crazy, at least in my opinion, with the Chainlink price always being quite high and quite positive whenever you take a look at it. So right now, over the last 30 days, it did plus 8%. But if we dive a little bit deeper into some of the price movement that it has brought with itself, we can see that we're actually really close to a new all-time high. We're already like always pretty close to the top, it looks like, but at least it's really different if you compare it to some other crypto. Chainlink here has a really weird structure. Let's look at it from here. If you press all for Chainlink here, you'll find that it's kind of upward sloping. And if you check all for example, Ethereum, just to give you guys some perspective, that's a pretty big difference right there. Now for Chainlink, there's actually also only bullish things to be said about it, realistically speaking here. Almost all of the price here is looking pretty damn good, pretty damn juicy. As you can see here, we've been going up for the last, 3 months or so. Of course, it took a little bit of a dip when all the coins did after the mid-February all-time high. And it even went to a real all-time high instead of just a higher point. And now we're pretty close to that point once more. And really, I don't think there's really much that can stop it. We have a kind of a short but pretty strong support here over at $3.90, which will most likely just hold fine, as we saw right here. It held like half a month ago, and with the way it's looking right now, with with their core and what they've brought to us, I think it will still keep holding on, which can make it move higher. And this is really the big resistance over at $5, which is of course a psychological barrier, but also just a really, really big price barrier, which we've tried to hit many, many times, but still we've been having quite a hurdle with. And now a lot of you guys must be wondering, when does this investment become scary, and is it smart to buy right now then, or what? Well, as I just said, it's really right now in a pretty good zone. However, we really are at the top of it all, right? And here you can see a couple of zones as well, which are really important to Chainlink. However, I would suggest, and again, this is not financial advice, that if you do not have any Chainlink already and you're planning to hold it for a longer period of time, get some anyway. But if you're only here to make a quick little buck, quick trade for the next maybe couple of weeks, maybe dig a little bit deeper into it. Why? Because as you can see here, this range might not really seem that big, or might look like it, but it's still $1, which could be, you know, roughly 20%, maybe more, maybe a little bit less of price. And if you invest $10,000 and it goes to $8,000 in the, you know, this just a couple of days, yeah, that might hurt a little bit. I can get that. And same for this zone here. These are just kind of deciding zones where it's like, if we get to that area, we might have to rethink our strategy. Of course, this is the biggest point for, about the $3.50 area. If we go below it, well, I'm really going to reconsider exactly what I'm going to be doing. And the most crucial part is, of course, at about $1.50 and also still at $1.80, because, of course, that was the point where it ended 2019 at about $1.80. And it has been a pretty crucial support here. So if we breach that, again, I'm going to really be looking into what I'm going to do for the future. But for right now, it's not really looking like we're going to get there. So to really get back to the question, should I be buying some of that now? I personally made the choice to still accumulate, even though we are at a little bit of a higher point, just because there's bigger chances, in my opinion, that we'll ever get above this $5 than that we will never. However, that is because I'm with the opinion that it's more important to at least invest something than to really buy the dip specifically. However, as I just stated as well, it is always better to at least try to buy the dip, or to buy in a little bit of a downward slope possibly, or when we're down a little bit more, rather than really close to all-time high. And it might really backfire, which again, I'll really warn you guys for. We saw it with Compound, we see it with a lot of different coins. After they get close or hit an all-time high, it really could fall down with the quickest wind, the speed of sound, speed of light, whatever you want to pick there. It can fall down ridiculously quickly, and that's one pitfall that we all got to watch out for, but that we all know about. So again, about the price, I'm thinking it's going to go up over a longer period of time. Short term here, it is looking pretty damn bullish if you look at it from the last couple of months' perspective. Really a lot more bullish than I believe most of the cryptos you'll find online or out there. However, there's still a little bit of a risk involved, of course. Now you might be wondering, well, you talked about what Chainlink is a little bit, you talked about the price a little bit, but what else is there? Because, well, you're really not too up to date just quite yet. Well, here's, for example, a little bit of a cheat sheet, or a community fact sheet. I don't know who brought this in, because I just kept looking on Google for all the info I could find, and this is really an interesting document. And by the way, my question of today is, are you guys holding any Chainlink? Put it in the comment section down below if you are. And also, guys, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe if you are enjoying these videos. As it says here, smart contracts and the real world, and there is just all the information that you could ever want to have. It is ridiculously crazy. It is ridiculously crazy. So much stuff. You can see here, overview of what Chainlink does really, what Chainlink has to offer, again, a little bit more in depth for all kind of parties, like for example, if you're a developer or a larger enterprise, what can it do for you? Partners and clients, well, of course, this is a little bit of a smaller list, doesn't include all the guys that it is partnered up with, because it's pretty difficult to really see exactly who they're working with. That's why there are many lists out there which just show all the companies they're working with, or gonna be working with, or they have some sort of connection with. It's been completely insane. You can see Web3 is in there. They got some really huge ones going on. For example, here, Credits integrates Chainlink's Oracle to bring new solutions in July of 2019. Some ridiculously crazy stuff. Just scroll through it for a little bit. Check these websites out yourself. You'll find they got some crazy stuff going on. Checked out some more articles because, again, you kind of gotta get that stuff together. You gotta look it up every so often to make sure you know your investment is good. And yes, looking at all of this stuff, I just get more and more bullish. So here's a list of their partnerships, some of the use cases that they got. Access to external data enables an entirely new wave of functionality for smart contracts. As I just said, which was also explained with the help of this video, they can pull that off-chain data, right? Which is ridiculously huge. It can help with money and finance, payments, insurance, supply chain, governments, enterprise systems, authorization and identity, utilities, gambling, and way more. Basically, all types of systems or industries you could think about, it can really help with. Blockchain systems and existing IT systems will be linked through Chainlink, which again is why I think they also have link in the name. Feeding decentralized blockchains with centralized data feeds is pointless. Chainlink provides decentralized, reliable, and tamper-proof I/O on any blockchain, achieving full decentralization. Link token as utility, blockchain agnostic. Again, I made a whole video explaining that part as well somewhere in the past. Customizing data and security. You'll find just so much. Why not use Ethereum instead of Link? Check it out here. Read it for yourself. I've checked all this type of stuff out for the last maybe like 2 hours or so, maybe 3. I've also been looking at some other stuff, of course, at the same time. But reading through this takes some time, but really, it's just a whole new world that opens up to yourself. And also, one thing that I noticed from all of this is my knowledge of Chainlink was okay, but reading through this, I just now notice exactly how much they have to bring. It's just ridiculously nice and cool, really. It's cool, really. And that's one of the only times I'll tell you that crypto is really cool instead of just really interesting. It's just really, even for just non-tech people, it's really cool to see what type of idea they came up with and how they are integrating all of this. So again, if you're interested now that I've talked to you about it, make sure you check it out. It's really amazing. I've also left this community sheet over on my Twitter. So if you want to read through it, check it out. It's over on my Twitter. It is amazing. I'll tell you that much. Now, over on the Chainlink website, you'll also find a lot of info surrounding all of this, but I can understand how it's a little bit more difficult to find your way around all of this here on the website to find exactly the info that you want. So still, I would recommend to just read through the community fact sheet, as it really has all the info you would ever want to need, except possibly for a price prediction over in it. So make sure you check it out. Now, I've been reading through a lot of articles talking about the price, talking about, the awards they've been given. Like, for example, here, Chainlink awarded as technology pioneer by the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum announced its selection of the 100 most promising technology pioneers of 2020 who are shaping industries from agriculture to healthcare while also working on sustainability issues and much more. Chainlink, the decentralized Oracle network that enables smart contracts to securely access off-chain data feeds, web APIs, and traditional bank payments, was recognized as a leader for its contributions in the field of blockchain tech. That's said by the World Economic Forum, so you once more understand here that they are no joke. They are internationally recognized, and that will most likely only get bigger and better as the technology is here to stay. They're really getting bigger and bigger, and they were once a top 10 coin. I mean, right now they are 12th. What is it? 12th, yeah. But there's a very good chance it will get back into that top 10 just because of the fundamentals and really the essence of what they bring, which is such a unique and great feature for the world, but especially for the crypto realm. And also talking about the price, as I just mentioned here, almost all articles, almost all videos, almost all interviews and everything you'll find online has a positive outlook for the Chainlink price. And that is no coincidence, guys. That is no coincidence that all these guys are being positive about it for the last couple of years. As I just showed you guys, started 2019, it was about, what was, let's say 30 cents or so. Somewhere in the middle of 2019, it got to $4.20. I think that has a little bit to do with the hype, of course, because of, Chainlink getting a lot of partnerships and some good stuff going on, but it's also really, really unique for cryptos that high up to outperform the market by just this much. I would also state that out of all these coins, except for possibly, stable coins, Chainlink has the weirdest correlation to Bitcoin, with possibly really not even an inverse one, but just no correlation possibly at all. Because every time that Chainlink moves, it has nothing to do with Bitcoin. Maybe in the bigger sense it has, but most of the time it's really just Chainlink on a rampage on its own, as you can clearly see here from the latest price data. Now, what that also showcases to us is that there's a lot more opportunities to really fetch something great out of Chainlink by just randomly invest in. However, it also opens up to a lot more risk of a crazy price decrease like we saw with Compound, because it is so close to all-time high, because it has done so good over the past couple of years. However, I think that's more of a doom scenario, where right now they've shown us they got the fundamentals, they got the technology, they got the partnerships, they got the community, they basically got all the little pieces, and if you tie them all together, you got yourself one crazy amazing project. And this video, by the way, is not sponsored by Chainlink or anybody at all whatsoever. It is really my own just opinion, and yeah, I'm thinking about really dropping in another freaking investment bomb into it just because of what I've been reading into today. And again, as I said before, I knew a lot about Chainlink, but reading through this community sheet here has really opened my eyes to a whole nother level. And it would be easy if I could just point out a couple of things, but it's really, I think, the aggregate of what we are working with here that's just showing exactly why this project is so great. It's really something I wouldn't have imagined to happen still, because, well, it's not like Chainlink is new. It's not like I've never heard about them or never looked into them, but it's mostly just because I never understood exactly how huge of a project they were, and really why it's going up so much while the rest of these coins aren't. And now that's actually one thing I really want to dive deeper into over the next couple of weeks or months, possibly kind of explore with you guys as well, and possibly just with a couple of my friends that are data scientists as well. Just take a little bit of a look at how it's possible that even though the fundamentals of quite a lot of crypto are really, on par with how good they are, how come Chainlink is outperforming them by this much? Because really, it's not a small margin here. They're doing extremely, extremely good in comparison, which to me is really something that cannot be explained just with words here. I think we got to look further into it before I can really make a judgment call on that. But at least at this point, up to this point at least, it's just amazing. I'm going to go with the flow. I'm buying more whenever I can and really want to get my bag as big as possible. And again, in these zones, I'll reconsider the strategy. But for right now, the way it's looking is all just positive. And yeah, I'm not backing down anytime soon. If the price goes down, we've warned you though, so don't go too ham, don't go too crazy. It is always better to buy the dip. We are really, really close to all-time high. But if you guys know me, I'm a long-term holder, so buying myself a couple coins right now is not going to matter too much. Because again, I'm just going to hold them till the end anyway, and I'll be golden and good. But that was it for this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something new. Again, if you want to check this sheet out, a link is on my Twitter. So make sure you follow that and check it out. And also don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to this channel. And also let me know how you like the pace. Should I be talking a little bit slower, a little bit quicker even? I don't think anybody would say that. Or was this just good? If you watched this far, make sure you leave that in the comment section, because I'm really still trying to work on that, even though I've been doing this crypto talk for 3 and a little bit years. Still looking for more feedback and info. Put it down below, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. Take care, and have a very, very nice day.